Alright, let's do... Bro, I can barely do regular mode Wordle. Get the fuck... James, how's it going, man? How you doing? What a starting word? That's always my starting word. Always. You can go back a year of streaming, and whenever I started doing Wordle at the start, like, that's always been my starting word every single time. It's relatively decent. You get 2 vowels, you get 3 relatively common consonants, and it's just funny. It always makes me chuckle. I was good with that. I'm good too. You know, start of a long weekend. I got tomorrow off work, so that's really nice. This is so cool. S-O-R-E. Okay, so S-O... This is the word. Solder? This could be it. My professor said this word in class yesterday. It was hilarious. Why did your professor say penis in class? What the fuck? Excuse me? Fuck! He said every shred of... Okay, that makes more sense. Okay. It was sober. Fuck. I didn't think of it. I didn't think of sober. I don't know why. I should have, but I didn't. Silly me. To draw. Second chance. A moment. Opening. Chance. A window of opportunity. MX, how's it going, man? Oh, let's go! Oh, I'm so good. Oh, I'm so good. Migos. Friends, no. Second. Buck. Endorse. So to endorse someone, to champion someone, to second someone, and to... I don't know, what does messin mean? I don't know what this word means. A subatomic particle which is intermediate in mass between an electron and a proton and transmits a strong interaction that binds nucleus together in the atomic nucleus. What the fuck? Champion someone, to endorse someone, to second someone, to back someone. Oh, of course. Yeah, easy. Obvious. Let's go. Chris, how's it going, man? Okay, wait. I got one chance. Can I perfect the word? Okay, I didn't get the wordle. Let me perfect the connections and like even out. A buck, a drake, a stallion, Amigos Maison have been one. Is this it? Oh, if this is 108, I'm gonna be so sad. I'm gonna be so sad if this is 108. No, let me hit it. Dude, let me hit it. Let me hit it. Oh! Let's fucking go! Oh my god. Fuck yes, boys! Oh, let's fucking get it. Okay. Perfect connections. Didn't get Wordle, okay? It evens out. I don't know how that works, but it evens out in my book, okay? I don't know what this one is. Ends of liquor and oh, Bacardi. What is eater? Casamigos. Harsh, how's it going, man? So Casamigos, Bacardi. This one? I don't know what these two are. Interesting. Okay. Whatever. We got it, boys. We got it. I'm doing good. Golf, play. Library, learn. Library, read. No, read. Library, read books. So peak! Oh my god! Oh my god, that's so peak. What? That's really good, boys. That's really good. Hold on, I'm cooking. I'm cooking. I'm cooking today. Hold on. Bang. Bang. Go here. No. I go here. It's here. Then I go here. Oh, boys, we got a chance. We got a chance today. We got a chance. Hold on. Here, 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 here. No, here, 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 here. Oh, I just wrong. Unhinged, how's it going, man? What do you mean washed? I got it in 2. Okay, maybe I'm not getting it now. How are you liking Volume 3 compared to 1 and 2? MX, this is so much... Volume 3 is so much better. I can't even... It's so much better. And, like, I've been told that it's relatively good now for a bit, and I'm so fucking glad. Because I was just starting to... Am I fucking blind? Is something happening? What did Volume 2 end again? That's a good fucking question. I can't remember it. There wasn't anything big that happened. Dude, am I fucking nuts? What is happening? So, check, no, check, no, check, no. Is there another check? Oh, the tree, MX, yeah, Tree of Shadow, yeah. Okay, thank you, Harsh. The fuck is happening here? Oh, I'm so stupid. It's so obvious. Oh, you idiot. Genuinely blind, what the fuck? Go here. I don't have any other pieces to attack us. Oh. When was the dancing scene, like the old couple? The old couple dancing scene? Wait, I don't know what you're talking about. Do I take this? That doesn't seem right. I do that. Oh. Can't take this. Can't go here. Ooth, instaband. It's over. I didn't even know why, but I didn't know why, but I saw it. I didn't know why, but I saw it. Oh, dude, I saw it. I'm so glad. Because if I go... Fuck. Because I thought if I go here... Oh, you take the pawn, idiot. Mate. Dumb, 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 dumb. Who the fuck was this? Because that was a part of the community. The fuck do you mean someone has rated 2,000 puzzles here? Who the fuck? Hold on, who was that? I mean, it's puzzles, don't get me wrong. It's not that impressive, but what the fuck? Huh? That makes it... Don't say to someone on my level, okay? That comes out incredibly rude, you dick. Wow, he's cooking, hold on. Dude, this guy's cooking, hold on. Dude, this guy's so fast. He might not win because of anything else. He might just win because he's so much faster. What the fuck? He's at 21. What the fuck? Oh, he finally got one wrong. Okay, so there's a chance. It's not a big chance, but there's a chance. fuck no! Ah, no! He beat me by one! Come on! I just ran out of time! I was so close, dude. I was so... Okay. Hold on. Okay, what's the thing? What's the method here? Fuck, that's so annoying. Oh, I go here. Can't go here, can't go here, can't go here. Oh, it's so obvious. Oh, fuck. Fuck, like 5 more seconds and I would have had it. Oh, that's so frustrating. Oh, that's so frustrating. Fuck. Oh, that's genuinely frustrating. Oh, I would have had you fucking... Oh, I'd have had him. I'd have fucking had him. Oh. Alright, let's go. Since when do you do puzzle battles? I've been doing them for a bit. You have not been here in a long time if that's new to you. Is Rui Lopez good? Ah, so-and-so. To be honest, I've never particularly been a huge fan either. Maybe? Cringe lord. Hey, Kami. I'm not gonna lie to you, we are cooked here, brother. We are just genuinely cooked. He's up 5 points in material. I mean, maybe I'm washed, I'm not gonna lie to you. That's a distinct possibility. Oh, dude, a dark square bishop right now to hit him with this would be so dope. But I don't have one! Alas, we make do with what we can. Oh, dude, you're such a bitch! Fuck this guy! I don't have anything else. It just sucks. Gusta. Diri, 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 da. Les toits assez noirs, différents. As much as I would love to fight for a fucking stalemate, it's just not gonna happen. Cringe shit, dude. That was just a bad. No, son, I am not winning, even at fucking all. Bug, how's it going, man? Fire King, how's it? Yeah, I'm losing very fucking badly. Okay, thanks for rubbing it in, dickhead. Fuck this guy. I don't know who that guy is, but fuck him. God. Motherfucker sees me getting checkmate and goes, "Are you winning, son?" Fuck this guy. What the fuck is that? What chapter are we on? It's fuck you too. It's fuck you too, buddy. 380, I think we're on. 80? Yep. Thank you. Bell chimes. Music changing in the chapter. Thank you. Yeah, we'll go to at least 80. Yeah, we'll go to at least 85, Chris. You want to do what to me? Yeah, okay, bro. Alright. At the conclusion of the Cordu disaster, Lumen found himself not only grappling with the seal within his body and the fading aura of inevitability surrounding him, but he had also been thrust into a vivid lifelike dream. Surprisingly, even the investigators succumbed to an uncontrollable slumber as they entered a specific area. During that time, Lumen, who was still unfamiliar with the intricacies of mysticism, failed to sense anything amiss. It was only later, when he enlisted the help of Mr. Poet to decipher the symbolic meanings woven into the dream, that he realized its origins. Were not tied to Termi Boris's power of Mr. Fool's seal. It had a different source. Ever since that moment, Lumen had tirelessly pondered the origin of this lifelike dream, but he had never unearthed a definitive answer. The possibilities were endless. However, with Franca's detailed account of the Evernight pathway and his own experience, a sudden revelation struck him. The Evernight pathway, known for inducing nightmare visions, could also weave the fabric of realistic dreams. Could it be that Madame Hella, upon learning of Aurora's tragic fate, had arrived too late to intervene? Perhaps she had resorted to employing the power of an artifact to draw me into a lifelike dream, in an attempt to provide solace for my soul. No, then there'd be no need for her to feign ignorance. Moreover, if she were responsible, there would be no lingering traces of slumbering powers left behind. Could it be that the continuous use of the incantation involving concealment powers during those gatherings somehow marked or corrupted Aurora with an artifact's influence? When her body disintegrated, the artifact sensed the disturbance, and albeit unsuccessfully in saving her, led me into a lifelike dream? That makes sense. Leia and the others were compelled to slumber on the blood-colored mountain peak, situated by near the sacrificial ground, close to the three-headed six-armed giant. That aligns with my theory as well. I still have no fucking clue what that giant is. I'm sure I'm supposed to have some semblance of an idea. I have no fucking clue what that is. Franca observed Lumine's prolonged silence, realizing he was deeply engrossed in contemplation. What thoughts have crossed your mind? She asked. Do you recall the Cordu disaster I mentioned? There's an area around the sacrificial ground. It was explicitly said, doubt it, which became the blood-colored mountain peak. Anyone who ventured deep into it fell into a deep slumber and experienced a realistic dream. Could it be that there's something wrong with Madame Hella? I doubt it. Lumine shook his head. This theory does seem to fit the circumstance. Right? Did you notice the initial part of the incantation features a 3-lined honorific name, implying that the artifact either possesses characteristics of a living entity or was once alive? It's reasonable for it to instinctively influence those who beseech its powers. The two of them continue their conversation, ultimately deciding that Lumine should find a suitable time to pay a visit to the Alone Bar. After returning to the motel, Lumine drew the curtains and settled on a table, and began writing a letter to Madame Magician. The letter primarily centered around the Armored Shadow's performance and its response. Lumine was particularly interested in gathering information about the ancient sun god and its connection with the Aurora Order. He decided to wait until however, mindful of the late hour, he decided to wait until he naturally woke up in the morning. At noon, Lumine received a reply. He felt a sense of satisfaction for having purposely returned to room 207. The Armored Shadow's response and its current condition offer some valuable insight into the condition regarding blank. Lumine's gaze fixated on the blank portion of the sentence, uncertain whether Madame Magician had intentionally injected humor into the letter, or it was some sort of distortion. Adam, one does not speak his name. Drawing from his knowledge of Madame Magician, Lumine's initial assumption was that she had initially composed the entire sentence, but realized that certain information could be shared at the moment, and instead of retracting it or starting anew, she employed some mystical means to erase it. Why can't I be privy to it? Just another word, right? Lumine thought. While this is a valuable acquisition, its immediate utility may be limited, though Mr. Hangman will undoubtedly be pleased. Why would Alger care? Huh? Why would Alger care about the Armored Shadow? In due time, when he deems it appropriate, he may get you to summon the Shadow once more. He will be responsible for providing compensation in gold and the chance to pose inquiries. Let him determine the questions. Your role is to facilitate communication, and the Two of Cups will handle translation. Oh, and do not forget to request a reward from the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man? Lumine repeated the code name. The ancient sun god's problem is more complicated, and my knowledge on the matter is limited. At this juncture, I can only offer this. He was the ruler of the Third Epoch. Oh, yeah, the ancient sun god. I don't know why. I was thinking about that she was talking about someone else, and I was like, who the fuck is the ruler of the third? Huh? Fire King. You can absolutely stay. Don't listen to Kami, okay? He's He's too overprotective, okay? I will mention, I'm happy to have you. It's going to be a little confusing, though, obviously, because I'm like, I don't know, 1,300 chapters after you, but ahead of you. But the entity revered by the Aurora Order maintains a complicated relationship with him. I've already watched the light novel Historian. Yeah, okay, listen. As soon as you watch... Dude, you could watch his intro to Lord of the Mysteries video and be like, yeah, I can just watch anything now. It's all cooked, okay? I now know shit I shouldn't have known for... I have read like 1,700 chapters of this fucking series, and even I'm not allowed to watch his videos. Everyone is like, don't you fucking dare, okay? We will show you 5-second snippets that we deem worthy. And I'm like, what the fuck? Understanding this connection carries risks. Consider him as the inheritor of half of his legacy, while the other portion is shared amongst a select few members of the 7 deities. This division directly gave rise to what is commonly termed the Age of Gods, known as the Fourth Epoch. If remnant of history, legend, and documents and artifacts were still available from the Fourth Epoch, the prior Third and Second Epoch mostly existed within the scriptures of churches. Veiled in the almost mythical obscurity, Lumion possessed only scant knowledge, recognizing the Third Epoch as the Cataclysm Epoch and the Second Epoch as the Dark Epoch. The brutal ancient gods, the ancient sun god who ended humanity's dark age, the ruler of the Third Epoch, whose demise remains shrouded in mystery, and the age of the gods that emerged from his corpse. Why would such an entity give birth to someone like Amon? Who's Amon's mother? Could there be another connection between Amon and the figure revered by the Aurora Order? Lumion thought more about it. He harbored a favorable impression of this deity, not only because of his role in ending the dominion of the ancient gods and offering humanity a glimmer of hope, but also due to the suspicion that he may be an earlier transmigrator from the same world as Aurora and Roselle. Simultaneously, Lumion began to understand why Mr. K and the Aurora Order held such a vehement disdain for heretics. The one who revered was the rightful heir to the legacy of the ancient sun god. Dara said yesterday her theory is that Amon's mother is Evernight. Listen, she's a sweet gal, but why you guys listen to her for fucking and expect some kind of coherent understanding of the story I won't understand, okay? She's a really sweet person. I like talking to her. But I don't. Yeah. Simultaneously, Lumion began to understand why Mr. K and the Aurora Order held such a vehement disdain for heretics. A flame erupted, and Lumion ignited the letter in his hand. He tidied up and fastened the silver lie earring, making subtle adjustments to his appearance to ensure he bore no resemblance to Lumion Lee. With that done, he removed lie and slipped it into the concealed pocket. Aaron, how's it going, man? How you doing? Ooth. He's a fucking author, bro. He's not he's not even an author. He's a visionary. The fuck are you talking about? Why does he need a second person to make a child? He could just envision it. His words are fucking like law. What are we talking about? You out of your fucking mind? I mean, yeah, maybe he, I don't know, had someone, but I doubt that would be required. And secondly, I don't know if a fucking normal human could even give birth to a child that has a fucking sequence 1 characteristic and a uniqueness. I don't even know if a human could, like, give birth to that. It was just, unless they're an angel too, because I feel like just having that in near their body would just give them fucking, like, the madness. No? Am I crazy? I'm sorry, Fire. I'm sorry. Let me apologize, okay? No one could withstand it. Except the Fire King, of course. the Fire Queen when he's giving birth. A postman in a distinctive blue uniform adorned with floral patterns parked his bicycle by the roadside and approached Saul de Ball Unique's mailbox. Like the guards, he too wore a monocle in his right eye. An inexplicable shiver coursed through Lumine's scalp, prompting him to avert his gaze. Inside, the dimly lit atmosphere persisted, casting a shadowy ambiance even at noon. Although I guess it is true, Will's mom did. But I don't know to what extent that's the same, Kami. I mean, maybe you know better than I do, so I might be wrong here. But I feel like Will's and like Ouroboros' situation is unique, right? Because rebirth is in their part of their cycle. So I feel like even going through all of that, they still have much more control over their, like over their presence and all that. Whereas like an actual child who's born with a characteristic of a sequence 1 at the start is going to have such minimal control over it. I feel like the madness would like... Do you know what... Like, I don't know if I'm making any sense saying it out loud. Like, in my mind that makes sense. I don't know if I'm verbalizing it correctly. Inside the bar, Lumine found himself the sole patron. The bartender stationed behind the bar counter was not the same individual as before. Instead, it was Leia, the Bureau 8 investigator. She was attired in a white shirt and a bow tie and a black knee-length dress. Her hair had been elegantly tied into a simple bun, adorned with tiny silver bells. "Gin on rocks," Lumine stated. A chuckle escaped from him as he continued. "Why do we have a new bartender?" Leia cast a playful glance. Bonsoir, there was no strict rule that dictates a bar must employ only one bartender. That would lead to their exhaustion. When you have the kid, it just takes from your characteristic. As long as he could make his form human, he could do it just fine. Okay, Uth. Listen. I feel like if you and I had to argue Lord of the Mysteries, I would win, okay? I'll say that. I'll say it. I'll say it. Anyone else in chat, minus Fire King, of course, I would probably take the under on that. I would probably say, like, they probably know more than me. I'd probably lose. But Uth in particular, because we started reading about the same time, motherfucker. Okay? I feel like I got your ass beat. I'll say it. I'll say it. I won't lose to you. Fire King, bro. Okay, Fire King, the amount of knowledge you have for Lord of the Mysteries, having had watched just the Donghua. Sua read after you and he passed you 3 hours ago. Bro, he's a jobless bum. Yeah, of course he's ahead of me. It took him until fucking February to now. 2 months for him to catch up. I think that's a bummy thing. Bro, if I'm reading this shit offline, I'm done this bitch in 2 weeks. What? Took him 2 months to catch up to me? Bro, bum behavior, okay? Fair enough, Lumine agreed. After savoring his beverage for nearly 10 minutes, he asked, "Is there a typewriter available? I just remembered a document I need to complete." In the room next to the theater in the cellar, there's a typewriter reserved for scripts. It costs 2 licks and a copay for each sheet of paper. That's pricey, Lumine muttered. He steered clear of the Marionette Theater, harboring some lingering unease from his previous encounter, and entered the nearby room. Stop letting Wiz hold me back. I'd be done with COI already. That is probably true, Uth. I'm sorry, buddy. I'm sorry. I'm not what you need. If you want to go on ahead, I understand, okay? Even with that, I will still beat your ass in a debate. I want to be really fucking clear. You could be fucking 800 chapters ahead of me. I'd still beat your ass. But yeah, if you need to, go on ahead. I understand. Lumine, in line with his prior preparations, proceeded to type out a document. Some of the worn letters on the typewriter matched the information provided by Loki with uncanny precision. Satisfied with his work, Lumine offered a payment to the Silent Man for his use of the typewriter and paper before promptly exiting the somewhat eerie room. It's my best stat. Kami, Uth, Nah, it's all good. By the way, after I'm done, do you want to watch some House of the Dragon after? I don't know if you're caught up. If you aren't, we can watch an episode or two. I'm not really sleepy right now. Wait, why did I lose the 3 next to my name? What? I don't know. And the crown. Oh, the ranking and the messages. I see, I see. As he returned to the bar lobby, he was abruptly met with a fugue as he heard the chime of a bell. Did you hear a bell? Lumion inquired. The hour has not yet struck, Leia said. Why would the bell toll? Suppressing his bewilderment, Lumion finished the drink and departed the bar. While passing Saw-the-Ball Unique, he observed that only 2 guards with monocles remained stationed at the entrance. Without further ado, Lumion continued passing down the street, putting distance between himself and the establishment. As he boarded a carriage, he headed back to the market district, and the clock chimed 2 o'clock with impeccable precision. Instinctively, he opened his pocket watch to check the time. To his astonishment, the pocket watch, which had been meticulously calibrated just an hour ago, had slowed down again. A minute slow. I don't know. You're kind of tired. Yeah, you're good. We don't need to. It's all good. I'm away from home for a couple of days, so you have a couple of days to finish the season, then we can watch it together. Dude, I don't know what anime or song or game the song is from. Well, I don't even know if it's. I don't even know if song is the right word here. If you're not tired, let's try to get through 2 bunches today. Is that? I'd have to get to like 389. Is that right, Chris? I mean, we can try. Is it original creation from a random artist? Seriously? Oh shit! This is very cool. Ever since I calibrated my pocket watch, the only odd occurrence has been the fugue state and the faint ringing of the bell when I left the bar. Additionally, there's one less monocle-wearing guard at the entrance of the dance hall. Could there be a connection? Lumion planned to write and inquire with Madame Magician once he returned. Normally, he wouldn't bother with his major arcana card with such issues, but the watch abnormality had likely started on Rue Ancienne. Moreover, there had been changes in Saw-the-Ball Unique's Amons. Okay, Chris, we can get to 389, okay? We can. But then I'm gonna need something from Kami. To get to 389, I need something from Kami. No one else can promise it. It has to be Kami, okay? Lumion stowed away his pocket watch. When the public carriage came to a stop, he swiftly disembarked and turned into a nearby street. I couldn't find a monocle emoji. Oh, I don't even think we strictly have a monocle one. We have a Amon one. I don't think we have a strictly monocle one. Lumion stowed away his pocket watch. When the public carriage came to a stop, he swiftly disembarked and turned into a nearby street. Oh, okay, that one. Yeah, okay. He changed public carriages 3 times, each leading to a different destination. The self-cultivation of a hunter. After completing this process, Lumion entered a department store. He placed the satchel containing the boxing gloves in a public washroom cubicle, put on his light earring and reverted to his original appearance. He also swapped his jacket for a dark vest that he kept in his satchel, transforming back into Ciel Dubois. Lumion breathed a sigh of relief after sending a letter to Madame Magician detailing his experiences. Whenever he visited Ancienne Street, even though he had never encountered a genuine disaster, he always felt an unsettling fear gripping his heart. A messenger returned. Your instincts are keen, and the fugue state you experienced and the bell chimes you heard was the result of Mr. Fool's Angel of Time. Mr. Fool's Angel of Time is so goated, bro. He located his target and obliterated Sol de Ball Unique along with all Amons in Trier. The reason your pocket watch slowed down by a minute was also the consequence of this clash. In the near future, you needn't concern yourself with what Amon may do. Nevertheless, be aware that dealing with such a creature is far from simple. And they cannot be annihilated. There are still numerous Amons lurking in the various countries of the northern and southern continent, and a few may even be concealed beneath Trier, beyond the reach of angelic powers. As Lumion read Madame Magician's response, he was stunned. That brief fugue he had experienced indicated a battle on an angelic scale. Had he not calibrated his pocket watch, he may not even have noticed it. Dude. What? Dude. Palez is fighting Amon now? And winning? Palez the bum? This motherfucker was on the run for a century, for a millennia, and now he goes, okay, maybe not a millennia, but he goes, now it's my fucking time, baby! It's my time! What the fucking... Amon became a sequence, yeah. Palez is like, oh, motherfucker, we're about to have some fucking fun now, okay? You remember when you used to bully me? Alright, this shoe's on the other foot now, bro. Palez after hearing from Force? Oh. What the fuck is this? So Kami sent this to me with saying Palez after hearing from Force. This is good. I would have gone with Hakari doing the jackpot dance, but this is also good. I would have gone with... I would have personally gone with this, I'm not gonna lie to you. I would have personally gone with this, but I get it. And if it weren't for the angelic Termibora sealed within, he may have suffered the same fate as Leia, unable to hear the bell or be in a fugue state. I know. I know, Kami, I'm sad. Is this the might of an angel? The confrontation between the Angel of Time and Amon hadn't affected ordinary people in the vicinity, or the residents of Rue Ancienne may have died. Once one crosses the threshold into divinity, their array of powers take on a mythical quality. The circle inhabitants' repetitive loop, the concealment power of the Evernight pathway, Madame Magician's door of starlight, and now the Angel of Time's bell chimes, all surpass my wildest expectation. Illumine didn't long for the power of a high sequence beyonder, only to be able to resurrect his sister. Lumine's spirits lifted at the prospect of no longer living in fear of Amon suddenly emerging. He offered genuine praise to Mr. Fool and the Angel of Time. With a sense of relief, he incinerated the reply and made his way to Franca's apartment. Good news and bad news. Which one do you want to hear first? Lumine smiled. You seem cheerful, Franca said. The good news is that you found leads on Loki, and the bad news is that we lack the strength to continue investigating. Neither, Lumine said. What the fuck? The good news is that Mr. Fool's Angel of Time has taken action. Sol de Ball Unique and all of Trier's Amons have been wiped out. If Loki shows up at the next gathering, it means he hasn't been parasitized by Amon. Bro, I love how the shoe is such on the other foot now that it's gone from Amon wiping out parasites of other people to Amon being the one who's getting wiped out. And like, it's like, hey, I can't defeat you, but alright, all of fucking the northern continent is out of your fucking hands now, okay? You can redo them, but you gotta go back there and do a whole bunch of shenanigans. You're done, buddy. That continent's mine for now. And Amon's like, damn, this shit is whack. The bad news is that the copy of the information you bought was indeed created using a mechanical typewriter in the cellar of the Alone Bar, but we can't continue our investigation in Bureau 8's territory. Did you see Mr. Fool's Angel of Time? Why didn't I sense anything? Indeed, whether Loki's a member of Bureau 8 or not, asking directly about anyone who has recently used that typewriter will result in us being targeted by Bureau 8. After finding an excuse to find that typewriter to attempt divination with that last user may pinpoint some members of Bureau 8 or even Saints. Fire King, if there's anyone who deserves to get bullied, it's Amon, okay? I have no sympathy for him. If they want to tell me the next chapter, they take versions of Amon and set him on fire, I'd go, he got off easy. There must be a high sequence beyonder overseeing Bureau 8's stronghold diagonally opposite Sol the Ball Unique. Lumin recounted the minute delay in his pocket watch and Madam Magician's reply. Loki didn't conceal his appearance well at the gathering. I suspect he has abilities similar to Niece Face or Lie. If he's truly an official member of Bureau 8, I believe he's a beyonder of the Seer pathway, at least a Sequence 6 Faceless. Your Lie corresponds to the sequence. Yes, many beyonders in Bureau 8 are from the Seer pathway. Above Magician is Faceless, Lumion thought? After Lumion conversed with Franca about the Seer pathway, the two of them fell into a dilemma. Just then, brisk footsteps were heard. Jenna opened the door. She glanced at Lumion. What are you guys talking about? We're just pondering over a conundrum, Lumion said. Informing Jenna that he and Franca were having troubles tracking down an enemy with the codename Loki. Any ideas, he asked. You reject everything I say, Jenna shook her head. CL, put yourself in Loki's shoes. Think of yourself as someone who likes to tease others. Think of everything that happens from their point of view. Don't you also like pranks? You should have something in common. My pranks are quite different from theirs. Lumin didn't say it out loud, but he thought. After a moment he furrowed his brows. All pranks are meant to bring joy when the target is embarrassed or suffers a blow. They used my sister as a prank, but they can't confirm the outcome, so they can't be joyous. Similarly, how are they going to track Franca's movements and witness her tragic end by instigating her to explore the underground? You have to know that even if Franca never goes to the gathering again, she may have just encountered an accident or something. What will be your codename if you ever join the Transmigrator Club? Targaryen. Peak. Similarly, no, hold on. The three people in the room pondered this question. If a prankster failed to witness the end of a prank, they would lack a sense of accomplishment and the joy. Either the prank is a cover-up, or they have an ulterior motive, or they have a way to monitor us. What way? Jenna asked. I don't know, but it might be a lead, Lumion said. Amidst the alteration between silence and discussion, the three of them couldn't come up with an answer. On his way back, Lumin gazed at the afternoon sun and probed, Termi Boris, can I find Loki through the prophecy spell? After you left Ruon Sion, if you hadn't done any anti-tracking, you would have encountered him, Termi Boris spoke. Oh, shit. Oh. Oh, the blood chickens. I said music when he's on the way back? Yes, you did. And the music's on, and he's on his way back. Checkmate. Get fucked. Oh my god. Fire King, can Can I ask you a favor? I don't know if you'll stick around for the whole stream, but if you do, can we do one of those? Can we? I'm sure you guys have all seen it on like Reddit or whatever, right? Like, I know nothing about this series. Ask me your questions. Can we do one of those with you if you wouldn't mind? Can I just ask you, like, can you tell me why Amon's bad? Or can you tell me why Klein is kind of goated? Can I just ask you questions and you give me your... I'm so curious about this. I don't know if you want to do it in Discord or in chat here. I don't know. Can we do that? I'm so curious. That'd be so fun. I don't know if I'm going to be around that long. Oh. Hold on. Okay. Can I ask you to join the Discord? We can do it at a time when you have time, okay? I think that would be so fucking jokes. Obviously, the stream's going to probably go for like 2 or 3 hours. Probably not 3, but like 2 hours or something. I have to go through like 7 more chapters. But can you join Can we do that at a different time? I think that would be so fucking jokes. I think that would be fucking hilarious. Can you tell me I don't have Discord? Bro, you don't have... Stop cursing? Fuck you. Don't tell me what to do. You don't have... You watch anime and you don't have Discord? You are a true rarity, my friend. If I hadn't used anti-tracking, I would have encountered Loki. Lumin was taken aback. Lumin's mind raced as he dissected the information in that sentence. After leaving Rouen-Sien, Loki had been tailing him for some time. The source of the copied information had been a trap. This known Loki had been at the bar. He chose the alone bar to make a copy on purpose, his plan to chase down anyone who would discover it. If the other party turned out to be formidable, he would ensure his basic safety by being inside Bureau 8's stronghold. He wouldn't be easily discovered. With this, Lumion felt a mixture of relief and regret. He hadn't spotted Loki's pursuit after leaving Rouen-Sien using the anti-tracking process. This meant he had missed the founder of the April Fool's team. But Lumion also was relieved because he wasn't prepared. If he had discovered Loki and was forced to act prematurely, there was a high chance he may have met a tragic end. After all, according to Franca, a Sequence 7 magician possesses many bizarre abilities, and as a marionettist, he can silently eliminate others. If Loki had launched a surprise attack, Lumion wasn't sure if he would have the ability to use Mr. K's finger. He also didn't know if he would have located the real Loki in time and escaped. But at that moment, regret outweighed relief. Lumion's pace towards the dance hall slowed, recalling his experience. The bar was dimly lit, and it was well past lunchtime. Besides a couple of inebriated patrons by the window, Leia was the only one. From a clear cellar which doubled as a marionette theater, he could occasionally hear conversations. In the room with the typewriter, a man was reading a newspaper. He remained silent, his gaze fixed on the newspaper. Which one of them is Loki? Clearly... Ooth. Don't be so crass, you potty mouth. Clearly, Leia couldn't be Loki. It wasn't due to gender differences, but her lack of sequences. According to Franca, Loki had a lack of revealing his appearance as of the last year or even earlier. It was suspected that he had advanced to Faceless, and Leia was only Sequence 7. In the lifelike dream, she likely couldn't conceal her specific sequence. Lumion's suspicion gradually settled on the man who engrossed in the newspaper. Lumion recalled the man's appearance and realized he was unremarkable. In his 30s, black hair, blue eyes, average appearance. But if a marionettist can control people, can they also control rats, cockroaches, bedbugs? The possibilities are endless. How could I hope to find him? What a vexing individual. It's only thanks to the angel trapped within me, Mr. Fool's seal, and the Blood Emperor's aura that I could evade a marionettist. So far, anyway. But frustrating. The bar is a Bureau 8 stronghold. I simply can't flush Loki out. The more Lumion thought, the more exasperated he became. Having successfully eluded pursuit. Okay, Uth, can I tell you? If you're ever in, like, good company, now for most of you this is going to be a rarity and you're never going to have to actually use this, but all the same, it is good information to have, okay? If you're ever in good company and you have to say some stuff, obviously try to just avoid saying shit like that if you have to. But if you must, you can just say, like, I'd like to know her in the biblical sense. It's the simplest and most uncrass way of saying it, okay? It means the same thing, but it doesn't come off as so blasé. Lumion took a deep breath, exhaling slowly, forcing himself to regain his composure. According to Anthony's theory, Loki and most members of the team have high opinions of themselves. Otherwise, after experiencing despair for the future, they wouldn't seek solace in pranks. They would indulge in their desires and the pleasures of life. Is it possible to lure such a person into a trap they believe they had outsmarted? Lumion dismantled and reassembled various pieces of information in his mind. Then an idea struck him. While it may not form a direct plan against Loki, it could serve as a means to probe the situation at the Alone Bar, uncover exploitable details, and gather info. After careful consideration, Lumion turned away and made his way to Rue Anarchy. Oh, Ma, how's it going? How you doing? Who's Uth? He's a viewer. He's here. You can't see him, Fire King. You have to change chat. So at the top it'll say top chat. If you click on that and you change it to live chat, Uth will show up. He's shadow banned for some reason. I don't know why. I didn't do it. Okay, I swear I didn't do it. Sometimes I wish I had, but I have not. I'm good, Alma. I'm good. Hanging in there. We got a long weekend now. I don't have work tomorrow. Good day. Good day. Let's go. Lumion pushed open the unlatched door, where he found the bankrupt merchant Fitz sitting at a wooden table. Fitz glanced back, placing the food aside, and stood up. Monsieur, what's the matter? Uth, we voluntarily watched like 2 hours worth of a show together, and I asked you if you wanted to do that. If anything, you're getting sick of me, motherfucker. I don't see you in fucking streams as often as before. Get fucked. You know who's actually gotten sick of me? Sal. I never see that motherfucker anymore. It's over, bro. In contrast to their previous encounters, Fitz's clothes now bore a bit of dirt, as if he hadn't had time to clean them. Can you provide evidence that Timmins owes you 100,000 Vraldor? Fitz's eyes lit up. Yes, I have a contract from our venture, clearly stating that he agreed to repurchase his shares at a specific time frame, along with paying me 100,000 Vraldor in profits. Monsieur, do you believe there's a chance of recovering my money? This could be your once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. If you miss it, you'll never see that money again. Saw de Ball Unique was at its most vulnerable. Without the Amand, it was now inhabited solely by humans. Fitz had a mix of excitement and apprehension upon hearing this. He retrieved the valuable contract and handed it to Lumion. While he didn't trust the mob leader, he had no choice but to place his hopes on him. Portier de l'Observatoire. Lumion changed his appearance and clothes and walked into Saw de Ball Unique. He encountered a guard sporting a monocle on his right eye. Monsieur, you must wear a monocle to enter. Monet introduced me here. He mentioned that I don't need to wear it, like you. Two guards exchanged meaningful glances and said, then it's not an issue. From their appearance, it seemed like they were well aware of the consequences of being invited by Monet. They may even have been influenced by Monet's devious personality and secretly are faithful to Amon. Did Det's music change? Okay. Unfortunately, they remain oblivious to the fact that Saw de Ball Unique is no longer the same as they remembered. Praise Daddy Azek. Dude, I love Azek and I can't wait to see him again. Lumion sneered inwardly and decided to seek out someone most resembling Amon later, intent on shattering their fucking monocle. This act was both a release of pent-up frustration and fear of being manipulated and intimidated. It was already evening, and the gas wall lamps and stained glass chandeliers illuminated the dance hall. Dancers in monocles and short suits swayed on the dance floor, while others leaned against the railing with glasses of wine, wearing smiles. It appeared as though nothing unusual had occurred here. After observing for a time, Lumion made his way to the stairs leading to the second floor. The guard with the monocle stationed at the top extended his right hand to block Lumion. "Who are you here to see?" "I'm here to collect some debts from Timmons." Moon? Motherfucker, there is no way this isn't copyrighted up the ass. Kami, what are you doing to me? Are you trying to get the fucking channel taken down? This is from a game? This song has 26 million views. You're telling me this is from a game? The fuck? What game? The fuck is Hotline Miami? Oh, 2012 top-down shooters game? What the fuck? The fuck? Okay, cool. Where the fuck would I know Hotline Miami? Then you can't proceed, the guard retorted. Lumion's lips curled into a smile. Bang! His fist connected with the guard's face, sending the monocle flying. Fuck this. It's a pretty famous game. Hold on, this music is actually cooking. Hold on. What the fuck? Hold on. Gotta check. Nice. Hold on. The music is cooking. I'm having a good time. Fire King, this is just the atmosphere we keep around here, okay? We keep it pretty loosey-goosey, okay? I swear they're allowed to swear. As long as no one's being super mean to someone, or if someone says like, hey, I really don't appreciate that, can we stop? We're pretty respectful then, but in general, since we're just, you know, we're all like, we all know each other pretty well at this point, we're all pretty chill. We have a pretty good time. Okay, you want to tell someone to fuck off? You can tell them to fuck off, I don't mind it. Amidst the sound of the monocle falling and sliding, the guard tilted his head, surprised and confused. His reaction was bizarre. He didn't react with anger or call for backup. It was as though he considered what had just happened a part of some bizarre performance. Lumion passed by with a smile, heading up the stairs. The guard's expression flickered, but he gave up on trying to stop him. Still filled with puzzlement and thought, his eyes darted. As Lumion reached the second floor, the two guards simply watched him pass without hindrance. No low sequence beyonders, Lumion muttered, kind of disappointed. He had braced himself for confrontation, something to showcase for the Alone bar across the street, but to his surprise, everyone here was just regular folk. None of them seemed rather inclined to engage with him. It made sense though. Amon wasn't like Mr. Fool the Great Mother, capable of granting large-scale boons. As for lower mid-sequence beyonders, they had likely already been dealt with in the angelic struggle. The remaining individuals probably had no idea that the dance hall had turned unusual. Many of their colleagues had just vanished without a trace. With no impostor Amon to confront, Lumion had no option but to improvise and enact the situation himself. He pulled a revolver from his holster and nonchalantly fired it at the rooms on both sides. Ba 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 ba! My guy just pulled out a he just pulled out a Uzi and went each bullet hitting a window with precision, shattering the glass. The second floor guards were both surprised and perplexed, suspecting that this man had been repeatedly fooled by a coworker, leading to a mental breakdown. Otherwise, why would he be taking on the air and windows? Instinctively, the guards raised their right hands to adjust their monocles, their expression becoming increasingly eager. Go on, confront the iceberg beneath the sea and the fear lurking in the darkness. After firing 4 shots, Kami, not 3. Get fucked, idiot. He pushed the slightly ajar door open and found the man seated behind the wooden desk. The man, with a wide forehead and narrow cheeks, His eyes seemed unfocused. He also sported a monocle over his right eye. Timmins? Lumen inquired. I am Timmins. You're not dead yet? Lumen asked. Hold on. We're doing a lot of... Okay, why did no one remind me? What the fuck? We're doing so much Amon shit today. What the fuck? Guys, you know better than this. You gotta remind me. I'm a fucking idiot. There was 3 banks. God was just smoking crack. You guys gotta remind me. He will know. Oh, he will. Hello, boys. It's time. As far as he knew, the other members of Soldaball Unique were in a state of being Amon and not Amon, but Timmins, the boss here, must have been deeply parasitized. Such a person should have perished a long time ago, but this wasn't the case. Timmins glanced at Lumen, maintaining his frustration and emptiness. Many people wish me dead, but they don't have the power to curse me. Perhaps I'm already dead. All that's left is a shell. That's not important. What is that you return my clients 110,000 Vraldor and interest, Lumen said. He anticipated Timmins' rejection and an ensuing confrontation. Timmins shook his head and smiled. There's cash and accessories in the safe. Help yourself. Password is 010103. I thought you'd put up a fight, Lumen sighed. There's no fucking way, bro. You're telling me this motherfucker came in here and said, give me 10,000 pounds, and he went, take it. I'm having a rough day. Cringe, bro. No. There's gotta be like he opens the safe and it fucking explodes in his face. There's gotta be something, okay? There's gotta be something. Timmins gazed at the revolver in Lumen's hand. I'm just a swindler. I'm not a miser. I can swindle others again when I'm out of money, but if I'm dead, I can't. Besides, I've already lost all I can today. Compared to that, 110,000 is nothing. The fuck you mean you can swindle others if you're out of money? Have you never thought about working a job, you jobless motherfucker? This is why... Fire King, that's so... Dude, it would be so fun to ask this guy endgame questions about Lord of the Mysteries. Oh my god, Fire King. You would make the subject of a very good video, okay? Maybe not today, but in time I will find you when you have time and we will do this. You will make the subject of a brilliant video one day. Lumen approached the safe, counting down, expecting Timmins to launch a surprise attack. Yet, he did nothing. Lumen crouched down in front of the safe, using the password Timmins provided. He glanced at the banknotes and gold bars that clearly exceeded 100,000 Vraldor, opened his satchel and collected them all. With that, Lumen raised his revolver, shattered the office window and climbed out. Timmins smiled. And so did everyone present. But at that moment, Lumen spun around and pulled the trigger. A bullet grazed Timmins' hair and embedded itself in the cabinet. Timmins' body tensed and the smile disappeared. He even caught a whiff of something burning above his head. Surprised, Lumen smiled. With that, he leapt off the windowsill and landed in the alley behind the dance hall. Timmins' expression shifted, now marked with confusion and bewilderment. It's like that one guy on Reddit that only reads chapters with Trissy in it and then said she didn't have enough development. LARPing! There's a guy that only reads Trissy chapters. Bro. That guy's my goat. That guy's my hero, actually. However, amidst the gunshots, they failed to witness the spectacle that had just happened. Near Place de Purgatoire, there was a bell tower belonging to the EBS Cathedral. Franca, disguised as a typical female mercenary, positioned herself at the rooftop's edge. Wait, didn't Klein say he gets like 50% of all the money he gets back or some shit? And he collected more than 100,000 Verl d'Or? So if, let's say, he got 120,000, he gets 20,000 that he took off the top, and then 50,000 of the 100,000 he collected? Dude, there's no fucking way he gets like 70,000 off this, right? Franca scrutinized the pair through the telescope and noticed that their expression seemed animated and their movements agile when they interacted with the guards. However, as they crossed the street and passed by the guards, their expression grew stiffer and their movements became somewhat robotic. Bro, that's chump change? Bro, 70,000 Verl d'Or? Even 24 to 1, isn't that like... Wait, is that 3,000? Oh god, that's like... No, not 3. That's like 6,000. I think it's 12. Is it 12 to 1 or is it like 24 to 1? Oh, is it 24? Okay, then it's like 3 or 4k. I mean, that's not nothing. Marionettes, Franca speculated. As for the whereabouts of the marionettist who created and controlled these marionettes, she couldn't discern them. The only thing she could deduce was that the effective range of this ability spanned dozens, if not hundreds of meters. Simultaneously, she couldn't help but complain. When there are people, they appear as real people, but when there's no one around, a marionettist can't be bothered to maintain their facial expressions all the time. Or perhaps it's a tactic to intimidate onlookers. Franca maintained her vigil until Lumion arrived. Even then, she couldn't spot the marionettist when he met up with her. Other than Leia, everyone else appeared to be marionettes. Franca conveyed her frustration to Lumion. Isn't this level of caution and meticulousness excessive? I couldn't find anything conclusive. All I can confirm is that there's a marionettist, and more than likely, more than one. This made Lumion's head ache. Could it be that they became neighbors because they excelled at concealing their true forms and were elusive and hard to uncover? Is there no way to use magic mirror divination, Lumion thought? This is the seer pathway. Unless I possess a marionette, I cannot locate their true bodies. Then let's head back. At the next gathering, we'll gather information from I Know Someone, Hisoka, and the Bard. They shouldn't be as elusive. We can still pretend to be duped and see if we can draw them out. When the time came, Franca couldn't step forward. Muggle would have to handle it herself. Franca had already purchased a copy of Loki's information, and was amongst the suspects. Agreed, Franca said. The two of them departed from the high-rise apartment and secured a rental carriage. As the carriage reached the intersection between Quartier de l'Observatoire and Quartier de la Cathédrale Commémorative, Franca turned to Lumion. Aren't you going to use anti-tracking procedures? Wouldn't rely on anti-tracking be sufficient? On your anti-tracking be sufficient? Lumion asked. Besides, after leaving the dance hall, I've already undertaken several measures. Fine, Franca said. Avenue de Marche, Market District. Lumion, carrying a satchel filled with banknotes and gold, said goodbye to Franca and proceeded to Anarchy Street. Anarchy Street was lively and crowded as ever. Lumion weaved his way through the vendors and pedestrians, drawing closer to the motel. Oh, for fuck's sakes, walls closing in again? Suddenly, he experienced an unsettling sensation. His body seemed to lose coordination, as if someone had injected glue into him. Marionette-ist. Ooh, damn. But have you considered that I turn counterclockwise 4 times, 3 times, whatever, and recite, "The king of yellow and black who wields good luck." He'll never see it coming. Wait, would you guys say that since I haven't finished the books, I'm LARPing when I make videos? Would that be said? I'm curious. I've only dedicated, a year of my life into this. Only if you made videos on book 2? I see. Okay, cool. Not good. Lumion was both a hunter and a dancer, and his mastery over his body was amazing. Any familiar or abnormal situation would alert him to danger, but in that moment, his thoughts seemed to slow down. I've been attacked. Loki is here. Is this a marionettist? As it nears my end, I can't think. Will I become a marionette? Damn it, Termy Boris. You didn't warn me. Did he tell me that Loki tracked me to make me do it again? Me becoming Loki's puppet helps him escape? I can't wait like this. Where is Loki? In these fragmented thoughts, Lumion strained to move. His hand found his way into his pocket as he surveyed his surroundings. Previously, he and Franka had discussed the limitations of a marionettist. They agreed that it must have a certain range or proximity, or it would have exceeded the ability of a Sequence 5, and only be within the realm of a saint. The duo believed that this ability required either a certain medium or could be activated at a close distance, just like the Ring of Punishment psychic piercing. Lumion suspected that Loki was hiding nearby. What greeted his eyes were street vendors and passerbys, some faces familiar and some unfamiliar. Lumion couldn't discern Loki among them. Adding to the challenge, Loki was a faceless. As Lumion continued to search, a flame manifested in his left palm. His motives were twofold. First, to test his ability to resist a marionette's control and evasion by inflicting pain upon himself, and second, to set a question and observe how Loki would respond. By studying Loki's reactions, he hoped to glean insight into Loki's exact whereabouts and weaknesses. Just as the searing pain coursed through his mind, Lumion heard it snap. Instantly, the flame in his palm dissipated into a harmless light. Lumion spun around, trying to find the source of the snapping fingers, but his joints had become encased in a sticky glue. This delay caused him to turn a second slower than he intended, and everyone in his line of sight appeared normal. And he couldn't pinpoint who snapped their fingers. Marionettist. Flame controlling. Pain doesn't help much. My body is stiffening. I can't waste time. I need to find Loki, or summon Mr. K, or wait for Franka. Spirit World Traversal. If the next two fail, I'll try it. Lumion's thoughts grew increasingly sluggish, but they weren't to the point where he couldn't think or react. Soon, with his rich combat experience, he came up with an idea. In the current situation, a marionettist indeed needs to be at a close range to gradually transform their target. In that case, I'll make sure there's no one nearby. Whoever lingers within the infernal hell shall be Loki. Lumion understood the situation and shouted, "There is a fire!" With his feet as the center, crimson flames surged out from Lumion's body with his feet as the center. They spread out, igniting the fruit peels and litter on the ground. Alerted by Lumion's warnings, everyone swiftly gathered their belongings and fled. Seeing their hasty retreat, Lumion's smile returned. Yes, you can use flame controlling, but I'm not going to do any delicate maneuvers. My only goal is to ignite the surroundings and increase the variety of my fire sources. This will draw the attention of official Beyonders invariably. Flames surged in all directions. Despite his faltering gaze, Lumion managed to catch a glimpse of the figure flickering within the flames. A figure with black hair and blue eyes, and an ordinary face. After bidding Lumion farewell, Franka made her way to her home. However, her journey took an unexpected turn as she suddenly veered into an alley, disappearing into the shadows. This demoness of pleasure began to make her way to Rue Anarchy, her agreement with Lumion. If their initial plan of barging into Solid Ball Unique failed, and they had a backup plan of a fishing expedition. Franka's earlier inquiry about Lumien's intention to engage in counter-tracking was essentially confirming if they should stick to their plan. Lumien's response was an affirmative. As Franka approached, she retrieved a mirror. This mirror was a mirrored substitution, crafted using Lumien's hair and blood. While it couldn't be used at a distance for death or injury, it had a profound mystical connection to the original body. In simple terms, if the mirror began to shatter, it would signal that Lumien had met his demise. If it displayed few deep cracks, that meant Lumien had suffered injuries. Likewise, Franka had placed a mirror substitution on Lumien, a precaution that was taken because they were uncertain whom Loki may target. This method was more reliable than attempting to discern changes in luck, as Loki possessed formidable anti-divination abilities. Franka, deep in her stealthy advancement, was suddenly alerted to the mirror as her hands grew cold. Utilizing her vision, she pierced through the shadows and witnessed the mirror transformation into a lifeless grey, as if it had rusted or submerged in the depths of an icy lake. Ciel was under attack. Upon reaching Anarchy Street, she was met with the sight of spreading flames. Within the crimson inferno, a figure flickered. It sounded like a gunshot when it opened its mouth, producing a sharp bang, causing vendors and pedestrians to scatter in fear. Lumien, on the other hand, struggled to evade the attacks, but he failed twice. The air bullets grazed his body, leaving wounds. However, it was clear that the figure didn't intend to harm him. It seemed more concerned about the potential complications that injuries may cause before a juncture. Relieved that Lumien was unscathed, Franka retreated into the shadows and approached the battlefield cautiously. Disengaging from the shadows, she directed the mirror towards the cluster of flames, her right hands becoming enshrouded in zero-temperature flames. When the figure emerged in the mirror, Franka swiftly ran her right hand across the mirror, and the figure burst into flames. He swiftly thinned and shrank, transforming into a paper-cut figurine. Among the crowd, roughly 10 or 20 meters away, an ordinary-looking man emerged. Lumien's thoughts snapped to full speed, and his body shook off the stiffness that had hindered him. In a flash, he vanished, and reappeared just 7 meters away from the Loki. Lumien then exclaimed, "Humph!" A brilliant beam of white light shot forth. Suddenly, Franka acted in perfect coordination. She conjured a transparent ice spear and hurled it to the target. Upon piercing the ground, white frost spread across the impact, chilling those nearby. At that moment, a thin passerby with brown hair and brown eyes interposed himself between Lumien and Loki. He appeared unharmed, his blank eyes gazing up at the sun. "Oh, my son!" In an instant, as if a blinding sun had risen in the minds of Lumien, Franka, and the others, rendering their thoughts sluggish. Instinctively, the duo moved to evade, but with one retreating to the shadows while engaging herself in a crystalline and frost and rolling to the side, and the other rolling to the side and using Nice's face to alter his appearance. When the sunlight receded, they found that both the man suspected to be Loki and the passerby singing the aria had vanished. Fearful glances from vendors and passerbys directed their way. Those closest to the spectacle had shut their eyes, tears streaming down their face. Oh, my tummy hurts. What the fuck? I have a slight tummy ache. Oof. Gonna have to deal with the hit and run of these bastards. Dude, I'm just saying, seeing it from this point of view, a fucking marionettist is broken as fuck, bro. What do you mean? Genuinely, that was broken as fuck. What do you mean? Just when you think you got him, you realize, oh. He's a marionettist. He has marionettes. I'm cooked. Lumin swiftly assessed his surroundings, taking in the scattered gas street lamps and their flickering flames in the distance. The individuals up ahead couldn't even open their eyes due to the glare of the sun. Son of a sow, did he just vanish into thin air? Lumin cursed. Damn it, were you born in the year of the rat? Slippery as eels, and they vanish at the drop of a hat, Franca cursed. The Seer and Marauder pathway are truly interchangeable. Their styles are so goddamn similar. This was primarily evident in their innate ability to strike or capture. The key difference is that the Seer pathway started behaving this way from sequence 7, while the Marauder pathway had to wait until sequence 4. Lumin's mind raced as he pondered how to track down Loki and his marionettes. A marionette. Yes, that aria-singing marionette had taken my spell of Harumph head-on without flinching. Mad, dude! Holy shit, thank you! You really didn't have to do that. Holy shit, dude. How's it going? Thank you, man. Kind of becoming a regular? Oh, I'm all the same. No, I appreciate it, dude. Thank you. Also, I need. Fuck no! Stop. the one true reason. Oh fuck. Oh dude. Oh. We used to have volume ender streams and stuff where we'd get like a ton of gifted memberships. You'd see like an entire fucking wall of that fucking emoji. It was, oh god. Yes, that aria singing marionette had taken my spell of Harumph head on without even flinching. There's a good chance that it's already dead. My near transformation into a marionette confirms this. If the marionette is dead, it doesn't possess the fate of a living being. No luck. If we can't locate Loki, who possesses the Faceless power, maybe we can start with his marionette. With this plan in mind, Lumin concentrated, carefully observing the density of the people standing more than 10 or 20 meters away. He scanned everything that had a destiny and was enshrouded in darkness. Lumin couldn't discern any potential targets and just said, "Let's get out of here, and the firefighters are on the way. The official Beyonder should also be arriving soon." After taking a few dozen steps, Lumin suddenly remembered Monsieur Ruhr, who had succumbed to illness, and Madame Michel, who hung themselves while singing the Capital of Joy, fearing that he may unwittingly bring a disaster involving Beyonder powers to the motel. As the leader of the April Fools, Loki took pleasure in manipulating others. He had no qualms about harming comrades, let alone murdering the innocent. Therefore, the likelihood was high that he would commence with Lumin's acquaintances and employ their deaths to shatter Lumin's psyche. Though it was only a possibility, Lumin refused to take the risk and turned to Avenue de Marche. Oh, this is the song. I keep looking for this fucking Liza P song and I always forget its name because I love this song. It sounds so beautiful. Fire King, you're new here. Watch yourself, okay? We can stand for anything. We can stand for anything in this chat. But Alma slander is not one of them, okay? You slander me, I got no problem. Fucking everyone does it, okay? You slander Kami, I actually welcome it. I encourage you to do that, you know? He's a Frenchman. Keep him in his place. I encourage it. Chris, listen, I actually like Chris, okay? Maybe like a little, maybe not that much, okay? But Alma is fucking too far. Watch yourself. Alright? What's the matter? Franca asked. Having regained his composure, Lumion said, let's grab a drink. The fate of the mobsters he frequently associated with was of less concern to him. Franca was kind of taken aback, but grasping Lumion's underlying worry. Loki had hooked a big fish, but failed to capture it. It was clear he had seen through his true appearance. He could hide in the shadows and wait for the perfect moment. As for Lumion and herself, unless they abandoned their current identities and used their anti-divination and anti-tracking abilities to survive elsewhere, they would be left in a state of constant suspicion. Compared to Auberge de Côte d'Or, the second floor of Salle de Balbrie offered a quieter and more defensible position. Okay, slander? Slander is like talking bad to someone, like making fun of someone, but in like a kind of a... Yeah, think of it like making fun of someone. I would say in a meaner... The word slander generally has a bit of a more intense connotation, but for our purposes, that kind of works. Furthermore, in the event of a Beyonder-level confrontation, it was better to involve mobsters than innocents. I'll change my attire as well, Franca hinted, indicating her desire to alter her appearance and remain hidden. Similarly, she intended to have Jenna return home and stay with her brother for a while. In the face of such a bizarre and terrifying adversary, the survivability of an instigator became too fragile. Lumion patted the concealed Franca's mirror substitution hidden beneath his clothes with his right hand, signaling the need for them to watch each other's backs. Franca nodded, affirming her understanding. Salle de Balbrie. Lumion settled at the far end of the window and turned to his bodyguard. Go to the motel and fetch a bankrupt merchant named Fitz. With such an intermediary, Fitz would appear to have achieved his objective through association, and there'd be no direct confrontation to CL, instead to the mob itself. If Loki intended to select a victim, he would likely focus on the mob. With the weighty satchel resting on his lap, Lumion patiently waited for Fitz's arrival. Having lost track of Loki, Lumion was left with only certain phenomena to guide him in this matter. Senators make jokes of others, but the jokes... Yeah, exactly. Okay, that's a very good way to put it. Yeah. Upon leaving Salle de Bal Unique, Lumion had intentionally followed the same anti-tracking procedure as before. He reverted to the original appearance, changing his clothes and modifying the satchel. After all, if he failed to capture the bizarre and seemingly unkillable Loki, his efforts would be in vain. He needed to gain something valuable from this encounter. Logically, if my anti-tracking abilities had shaken off Loki previously, there should be no reason for an exception this time. I had meticulously paid attention to the people and creatures around me, and even avoided the watchful eyes of birds. If a mere insect became one of Loki's marionettes, it would struggle to keep up with my swiftness. Therefore, either Franca had been targeted early, or Loki recognized me when I passed through Rue Ancienne again. Franca carried out anti-divination procedures and was a distance away from the Alone Bar. She didn't even enter the street. It's unlikely she'd be exposed so quickly. The likeliest scenario was that Loki recognized me when I passed through the same street earlier. But how did that happen? I had reverted to my original appearance, altered my clothes. According to Anthony, this should have concealed my unchanged leather shoes from prying eyes. I even applied cologne to mask my scent. You wanna watch Avatar? This series of elements? Hell yeah! Avatar's peak as fuck. Lumion compared the differences and gradually arrived at the hypothesis. Either a marionettist or one of his marionettes possesses the ability to see a person at the level of their soul, consciousness, or some other aspect. Or Loki can perceive distinct traits that set me apart from others, such as Inevitability's angel, Miserful's seal, or another. Although Lie belongs to the Seer pathway, it does not have a readily detectable convergence that corresponds to Loki. The more Lumion thought, the more convinced he became that Loki had a means of piercing his disguise, but his tracking abilities were limited. Regardless of how Loki told him apart, this was the best explanation. With this in mind, Lumion came up with an idea. Lumion smiled as he cast his gaze at the dark sky. 15 minutes later, Fitz emerged. Lumion signaled for Sarkota to step aside and addressed Fitz. I've recovered the money. How much do you think you should receive? As he spoke, Lumion emptied the banknotes, gold coins, and valuable accessories. About 130,000 Vril d'Or. 60,000. No. 50. No. Just give me the 30,000. With a smile, Lumion separated a few bundles and tossed them to Fitz. As we agreed, the interest belongs to me, and I'll take 50% of the principal. Here's 50,000. Fitz accepted the money with gratitude. While he didn't receive the full amount, 50,000 was a substantial sum for him to start his life anew. Lumion was equally pleased. Through the operation facilitated by the Angel of Time by Mr. Fool's side, he had effortlessly gained 80,000 Verl d'Or. What is your favorite element or sub-element? Listen, I will always... Fuck. God damn it. I will always be partial to fire as well. I just think it looks the coolest, honestly. It's not the strongest. Not even close. But I just think it looks the coolest. I'm a child. Or I guess if we're going by the... looking by the coolest, bloodbending, if we're counting that. That and it makes me feel like... It makes me feel like Moog from Elden Ring. Deep in thought, he contemplated the idea of purchasing sacrificial offerings from the corresponding domain as a token of gratitude to Mr. Fool and the Angel of Time. After half an hour, Lumion ascended to the bedroom on the second floor and discarded the satchel and employed Lai to alter his appearance once more. He changed into a shirt, vest, trousers, and leather boots and stowed away Lai and transferred the boxing gloves into his briefcase. Once he confirmed that no humans, rats, or birds were in the vicinity, Lumion pushed open the window and leapt out, seemingly unaware that Loki may possess the ability to see through his disguise. I just downloaded all of Avatar a few days ago. Holy peak. Alright, boys. So, okay, I know. So I said I'll go to 389, and I will. But then I need something from Kami. I said this. I need something from Kami, okay? And he never even, let alone agree to it, he didn't even ask me what. So I don't know if we can go to 389 today. It depends on if Kami stops being a bum. Holy. Okay, so I mentioned, so I'm, okay, don't call me an edger, okay, don't call me that, okay, what the fuck, okay, don't, okay, so you guys know I'm gonna be out of, okay, most of you know, anyway, I'm gonna be out of town for the weekend, okay, I have to, where I'm going, I'm gonna be out of town for Easter, okay, so I'm not gonna stream tomorrow, Saturday, or Sunday. I'll be back to streaming on Monday, okay? So Kami, I need 0 bums, okay? You call me a fucking bum once, and I swear to God, I don't know what I will do, Kami, but it'll be fucking bad, okay? I need your word. 3 days. You can't call me a bum. If someone else does it, I don't really care. Whatever, I don't, say what you want, okay? I need it from you, Kami. You are like the no, Chris. I don't need your words, okay? You wouldn't call me a bum, but even if you did, okay, I'll take Fent to block out 3 days. When they call you a bum but not Palaz or ass. Okay, Palaz did something really cool today, Mad. So we can't call him a bum today, okay? He did something really. He beat Amon's ass, so we can't call him a bum today, okay? Listen, normally I am super on board for Palaz slander, but not today, okay? Today he kind of earned a goat point. He officially has exactly one goat point to his name. I can't say anything because of spoilers. Dude, this is so cool. I can just say shit to him. And he can't do anything. He's stuck. He's reached the end of his dialogue tree. He can't go any further. In the dark and deserted black alley, finally he arrived at Rue de Blue Blanche and entered the seemingly abandoned safe house. Following a process, he pulled the curtains shut and inspected every corner of the room. With that, he began to write. Honorable Madam Halal, when I took part in the April Fool's team discussion masquerading as my sister, I couldn't help but notice the peculiar reactions of Hisoka, Mad Lady, Bard, and Ultraman upon seeing Muggle's unexpected return. I suspect I know someone was the psychiatrist Muggle sought help with. Simultaneously, they were collaborating with Loki in a ruse, hoping to entice some members from other teams to embark on a subterranean quest for the remains of the ancient sun god. I believe Loki is the de facto leader of April Fools. If there is anything awry with the others, I doubt it undoubtedly concerns him as well. Consequently, I acquired a copy of the ancient sun god's information from him and enlisted divination services to examine the mechanical typewriter responsible for producing the text. It happened at the Alone Bar in Trier. Following some field investigation, it became apparent that this locale serves as a stronghold for Bureau 8. But Loki appears to have his sights set on me. I was assaulted in the evening and narrowly escaped becoming his marionette. My escape, though, exposed my identity to him. As I write this letter, I find myself in a safe house I had previously prepared. Nevertheless, I can't be certain whether I have eluded Loki's pursuit. I suspect there is something amiss with him. If left unchecked, he could pose a grave threat to the Research Society. I hope to receive your assistance. Lumin felt no shame in laying out his intentions. His plan was to make himself the bait that would draw Loki out of hiding, while Hela, with her ability to harness concealment, would lurk in the shadows, ready to deliver the final blow. Can someone in the top 3 leave? I lost a lot of aura after I lost the 3 next to my name. Dude, I love how Fire King is so invested. Hold on, he's cooking. Perhaps only Hela, with her superior sequence and mastery of concealment, had a chance of evading detection and discovering the true body of bizarre and unkillable adversary. After folding the letter, Lumin swiftly arranged the altar and summoned the pure silver skull adorned with pale white flames in its eyes. Franka stealthily made her way back to apartment 601, using her persuasive abilities to convince Jenna to vacate the premises for a couple of days. Only after Jenna repeatedly confirmed that she would be of no assistance did she reluctantly give up her facade of bravery and departed. You do not have the mandate of heaven, true. You see? Bug has the #1 crown. He can say that with impunity, for he does indeed have the mandate of the heavens. Oh, it's so peak. He is the first emperor of China. As she applied makeup, she couldn't help but curse her mother's fate. Such skills were fundamental for an actress. With a simple disguise in place, Franka seamlessly shifted between invisibility and concealment in the shadows, weaving her way out of the market district. If heaven bars my path, I shall seal the heavens. Oh, dude, that is such a hard bar. What the fuck? Heaven would never seal all of one's path. Never all. Never all. There is always a forbidden path available. But most do not dare tread that path. Trod. Finally, she returned to Rue de Blue Blanche, entering apartment 6. This was the safe house she had prepared for herself, overlooking her original residence conveniently. Franka completed all of her procedures and heaved a sigh of relief, simultaneously muttering, I've only known Ciel for 3 months. Why does it feel like I've experienced more in this time than in the past year? Is this guy some fucking jinx? In the secure confines of the safe house, Lumin waited for a reply. Then, in 15 minutes, he saw the silver skull emerge. Thank you. Lumin habitually accepted the letter. If Hela was unwilling to engage, Lumin had no choice but to abandon his plan and locate Franka. He would guide her through spirit world traversal to distant locales like Hill District before returning. He felt that it was the only way to evade Loki's pursuit or lock on. Lumin unfolded the letter and discovered her response was rather, oh fuck, no. Oh my god. Occasionally my actual playlist will bleed into this because at this point I listen to these songs on my on my YouTube, right? So like they play on my YouTube, so my actual playlist will intermingle with these songs. And it was just about to play some Frank Sinatra. I caught it. Okay, we're good. Light earring? Okay, thank you. Lumin unfolded the letter and discovered Hela's response was succinct. Got it. A wry smile curled up on the corners of Lumin's lips. Without delaying, he restored the table's surface to its ordinary state and reverted to his original appearance, aided by the lie earring. Coming? As minutes slipped away, night settled in, and on Rue de Bleu Blanche descended into stillness. Fucking Christ. That sounded so loud to me. The crimson moonlight filtered through the heavy curtains, casting a subdued, eerie glow. Oh my god, I just realized. Oh my god. Lumion is about to beat his first marionettist the same way Klein beat his first marionettist, with a jumping. Hold on. Oh, you thought you had me? Well, you hadn't considered that I have backup. Get cooked. As minutes slipped away, night settled in. The crimson moonlight filtered through the heavy curtains. Soundlessly and stealthily, the rat approached the table, ascending its surface. It moved about with deliberate intent, as if surveying. After a brief inspection, it halted its actions and retreated to the shadowy corners. The rat fixated its gaze upon Lumion with unnerving, human-like intensity. Nearly 10 minutes passed, and faint, nearly imperceptible footsteps echoed. The footsteps drew nearer. Strongest sugar baby in history versus the strongest sugar baby of today. The strongest Nepo baby of history versus the strongest Nepo baby of today, okay? Is much more like it. Klein gets born into a random world, instantly born with a Sephira. Are you nuts? Not even just a Sephira. The fucking... one of the two best ones, okay? You can argue between Celestial Worthy and the fucking God Almighty, but really there's no third one, okay? The other ones are like middling. Insta. Lumion gets born, motherfucker gets access to 2 pathways simultaneously, right away. And an angel up his ass. And Mr. Fool's blessing. And an angel to guide him from day one. What? Strongest Nepo broodhive? Nah. 6 Rue de Bleu Blanche. Lumion didn't open his eyes. His body was relaxed, as if he had truly fallen asleep. Franca reclined in the recliner, swinging back and forth. Troubled, she pondered what to do next. With such a bizarre and terrifying foe lurking, the constant sense of being watched, she couldn't find solace, whether sitting or standing. I need to resolve this quickly. One can be a thief for 1,000 days, but how do you guard against a thief for 1,000? One misstep and it's all over. Mad, don't listen to him too deeply. He's only watched the Donghua, so Fire is genuinely rage baiting you, don't worry about it. Why don't I just relocate? I can go all out and ask Madame Judgment for help to apprehend Loki. It's feasible, but I'll shoulder a debt that I don't know how to repay. Even if CL takes half of it, it'll be a heavy burden. We can also ask Madame Hela to convene an emergency gathering and accuse Loki and the others of causing Muggle's death. We can request that if we find some reasonable members to interrogate each other, we can see who's lying. But we can't be sure. The more Franca thought about it, the more frustrated she became. She used proverbs from her homeland. Suddenly, an overwhelming sense of danger gripped her, and an eerie chill crawled up her spine. Her body stiffened, and a figure emerged in her lifelike eyes, clad in a short, black formal suit, with combed brown hair and a face bearing a southern continent heritage. A wraith. The word flashed through her mind as she recognized the nature of the attack. Franca's thoughts became hazy and her hand rose, as if resisting an unseen force. She channeled the spirituality in her soul body, preparing to unleash an attack. This ability targeted a spirit body and was capable of incinerating wraiths. At that moment, Franca heard a voice, a majestic voice. It's futile. Surrender. The sound pierced Franca's mind like an arrow. I didn't use all my strength in the evening to test the waters. The person impersonating Muggle with a high-level existence sealed in him must have some special abilities. If I hadn't done my best to gather information, I may have been the one who died. After the probe, things got even more interesting. I went to his place just now and felt that it wasn't safe enough. So I planned to turn you into a marionette and launch my attack. When Loki recites second to last line, do you think you can escape my grasp? There's something special about us. As long as we are within a kilometer of each other, I can use the power of a great existence to sense your location. I have long yearned for a demoness to be my marionette. It'll definitely taste good. Oh my fucking god, bro. Don't make me say this shit. What the fuck? Franka's spirit body was repeatedly affected by the sound, interrupting her efforts to activate mirror substitution. As her thoughts became sluggish, can Loki sense my presence? Why? I can't waste any more time. I must accelerate to avoid unforeseen complications. The sinister voice spoke out. At this moment, the voice turned respectful and recited to Franco, the immortal Lord of Heaven and Earth, for blessing. The Sky Lord of Heaven and Earth for blessing. What? But at this point, isn't he just praying to the fool? Oh, he's playing to Celestial But then... No, he hasn't. No. Okay, I don't know if he's... Hold on. Okay, so if I... Hold on. Okay. So you tell... Mr. Random, what the fuck? Okay, hold on. You guys tell me if this makes sense. Okay, here's what I'm getting, okay? I don't know if this makes any sense. So obviously, because Klein is still alive, right? Or Klein is still I don't even know if you would classify him as alive right now with whatever his state is, but he still exists because they will pray to the fool and they'll get responses back, right? So we know that he's there, but this implies in particular that Celestial Worthy still has more control over Sephira. Over Sephira Castle, he still has more control. Or just simply the fact that this old incantation refers to Celestial Worthy specifically. So the same way that, like, they could still be locked away in a battle, but the same way that Klein is able to take a second away to answer prayers, Celestial Worthy is able to do the same as well. Where this motherfucker got this fucking words, I don't know. That name refers to both the Fool and Celestial Worthy. It depends on who decides to use their resources to respond. You can't be sure if the answer is from Klein. The answer is obviously from Klein. Celestial Worthy wouldn't give a flying fuck about these guys. Don't just try to trick me, okay? If you're gonna try to trick me, you gotta use cooler thoughts. I'm sure. Yes, I'm 100% sure. Okay? You gotta use better logic. You're not gonna convince me with this shit, okay? Do better. Be better. Make better lies. In the room with the thick curtains, Lumion suddenly felt a mirror substitution in his clothes turn abnormally cold. Beneath the faint crimson moonlight. Read the chapter and say the same thing? Oh, you fucking think so, bro? You got it. So you won't do it every time? Okay, that makes sense, Matt. I agree. Okay, that does make sense. Lumion knew Franco was in trouble, and without hesitation, he activated the mystical connection between the substitute and its true form, and emitting a dim light from the black mark on his shoulder. Lumion vanished from the bed, reappearing on 6 Rue de Bleu Blanche. Lumion simultaneously saw the surroundings engulfed in an eerie grayness, a fog obscuring the moonlight. Franca lay in a recliner, her body contorting, her eyes filled with a turbulent mix of emotions, anger, fear, anxiety, and worry. A vague figure seemed to encircle her. Suddenly, the sound of nails scraping against a blackboard assaulted their senses. Oh god, just the thought of just reading that is assaulting my senses. Holy shit. Incomprehensible words piercing their spirit bodies. In the highest reaches of a void, mysterious symbols swirled, their forms beyond description, coalescing into a dynamic, otherworldly door. Lumion and Franca's spirits were drawn inexorably towards the door. As they approached, a faint voice emanated from within, a voice that seemed to hold the secrets of all of the universe, as well as madness, self-destruction, and darkness. With each step towards the door, the maddening ramblings grew more intense, causing their heads to throb, yet an overpowering primal urge compelled them to enter, to merge with the formless entity behind the door. Amidst the sea of incomprehensible symbols, the door stood slightly ajar, allowing invisible entities to pass through. With a resounding hum, Lumion and Franca's minds were plunged into a state of blankness. The ravings they had heard coalesced into a grotesque entity that corroded their very soul bodies. Franca's eyes widened, her hair fluttering in the wind. Blood seeped from the corner of her eyes, nostrils, ears, mouth, and pores, as if a demon was trying to separate her flesh from skin. Franca's thoughts were in a state of intense disorder, as if a human had been thrown into a factory blender. Seizing the moment, the wraith that had been attached to Franca detached itself. This wraith, dressed in a sleek black suit, its eyes flickering, let out a piercing shriek. A cacophonous, shattering sound, both illusory and real, filled the room as Franca's body vanished and from the recliner and reappeared in the bedroom. Beneath the shattered mirror's reflection, Lumion, though still affected by the ravings, fared better than Franca. What did Oma say? Oh. You see, fracking W, true. Oh, true, I get mad. I guess true. So, I guess it's sort of like playing a game of chess and you're black in a time scramble, or like, I can't remember, in a deathmatch? I can't remember what those are called. When you're given less, when you can take less time, be black, but a draw is a win for you? Is that... Fuck. I can't remember. Armageddon. Oh, I think it's Armageddon, right? Oh, I think it's Armageddon. Yeah. So he's playing he's playing chess with Klein, but he's playing black in an Armageddon. He's like, a draw is a win for me. If I can just delay this forever, you lose your fucking mind, and I just come back. So get fucked. Despite the excruciating headache, scattered thoughts, and ruptured capillaries in various places, he retained some semblance of instinctual reaction and basic cognition. In the next moment, the wraith disappeared and manifested in Lumion's eyes. Still capable of thought, Lumion promptly utilized his spirit world traversal ability to escape the room. He understood that a marionettist could naturally transform into a wraith, and that the wraith that possessed him was likely a marionette. With their distinctive abilities, it was improbable that a marionettist would engage directly. Therefore, once a marionette was beyond the marionettist's range, it would lose control and become useless. When the time came, Lumion could teleport back and take Franca. Good night, MX. I appreciate you staying for so long, buddy. Just as Lumion was on the verge of activating his spirit world traversal mark, he heard a magnetic voice. Give up. The voice pierced Lumion's spirit body. I don't know what kind of trap you've set in your room, but it likely involves Hela, doesn't it? After all, without her, you couldn't have masqueraded as Muggle, could you, Lumion Lee? Aurora Lee's brother? I've seen your poster. In Trier, the easiest Beyonders to come into contact with is the Hunter pathway. There's a good saying, never fight a hunter on his turf. Who knows what kind of traps you've laid out? I didn't want to take the risk, nor did I plan to face Hela. Though I'm not concerned about her unless she found a way to become a demigod. But why engage you on your turf? My choice was to stage an attack on the Hidden Blade, draw you out and away from your turf and fight on my ground. After this afternoon's reconnaissance, I confirmed that you both possess an item capable of monitoring each other's condition. Likely mirror substitution, huh? Ever wonder what my other marionette was doing during that time? In truth, I have no intention of killing the Hidden Blade or turning her into a marionette. A living demoness serves my purpose much better. I can use this encounter to make her suffer. When she advances to a sequence 4, I'll then have a demigod marionette. These words carried no provocation, yet each word ignited a burning rage in Lumion. These words continued to disrupt Lumion's mind, interfering with his abilities. With the dual constraint of wraith possession and marionettist, Lumion resembled a statue, frozen. A thin grey fog enveloped the room, sealing off all sound from the outside world. Genuinely a better seer than Klein? Okay, I don't know enough about him to go that far, but if he's a marionettist and he already has a wraith, and I'm assuming someone decent from the Bard pathway as well, because that's what the sun thing was earlier. I will say he has stronger people than Klein did at this point, right? Klein didn't get, I think the first sequence 5 one we had was Inuni, I think, which Klein got after becoming a demigod, if I'm remembering right. I don't think he had any sequence 5s as a sequence 5, did he? With no, true, with no Sephira Castle. Indeed, when you showed up at the gathering and joined our team, I sensed something was wrong. I suspected that Muggle had used a seal to escape the fragmentation of her soul. Little did I know, she had died. He had Senora earlier, which was 5. You are her brother. Senor Pink? I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I couldn't help it. Yeah, sorry, I think you're right, Kami. I think you're right. I think I was forgetting that. Yeah. I still remember, in the latter parts of last year, every time she attended a gathering, I sought out I know someone to treat her issues and hidden dangers arising from her improper use of the soul summoning spell. And I know someone would divulge her pain, struggles, and vulnerabilities to us each time. It's quite vile and against a doctor's principles, but it was hilarious. It gave us a sense of accomplishment and made us all laugh. Ooh, he only got a... Oh, Azek! Chris, you're right! Senor, yeah, you're right. He basically, yeah, because Senor just bowed when Azek came on the ship. You're right. So Klein didn't get a sequence 5 when he was a sequence 5. That doesn't count. I'm not giving him that. Fuck off. No, you're right. Thank you, Chris. Yeah. Yeah, but wasn't it Admiral Hal Ludwell? Fuck. No. Was that it? Nearest Rose School, end of Volume 3? Or... Lumion had been mildly annoyed by Loki's earlier critiques, but now, as Loki recounted Aurora's experience, his anger reached a boiling point. Aurora had been genuinely unwell, seeking treatment for a doctor, but not only did this doctor patronize her, but also derived amusement from her suffering. He violated her privacy, sharing her struggles and illnesses with others. What made it all despicable was that this group was the one who had sold Aurora the spell to begin with. Every one of them deserves death. The most tragic death imaginable. Though Lumine's mind remained ensnared in stasis, his anger erupted. He couldn't control it. Crimson flames erupted from Lumine's body, and small red tendrils protruded from his eyes. He's a precursor to losing control. Okay. Oh, true, he killed him with Grozel's travel. Fuck off, that doesn't count either, Kami. Bro. Okay, that shit is a hack, if I've ever seen one. Even if I lose control or become a monster, I will drag you all into the abyss. Relying on his body's reaction, crimson flames spread in all directions, incinerating the Wraith. Unfortunately, this fiery onslaught proved ineffective against the Wraith form Marionette and Loki, who seemed concealed somewhere. It's useless. I know you mainly aim to use the flames to signal for help. But I've deceived Hidden Blade previously. Despite my claims of accelerating the progress, I've harnessed the power of the Grey Fog to create an environment that isolates information here. While you can indeed break through the residual fog barrier if you go all out, since I can ask for too much power, I can't allow that. This is a new... No, we have heard this at Lost Ark. As Loki finished speaking, a frenzied, terrifying, violent, exaggerated aura exploded from Lumion, shredding the Grey Fog and shooting upwards. The fuck does Klein have? The fuck does Lumion have that can burst through the aura of Sephira Castle? Bro, this is hacks. This is bullshit. A sequence 7? Oh, the power of friendship is giving him this power? Get the fuck out of here, bro. Adam, how's it going, man? Okay, the story's finally getting good, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm genuinely having fun right now. Like, I don't know, we're at like 10 or 11 chapters for today. And like, I genuinely just want to read. Like, I'm not like, ugh, I have to read 11 chapters. Like, oh, no, I'm having fun. As the frenzied and violent aura surged out, 6 Rue de Blue Blanche trembled. On a bed in a quiet room diagonally opposite Franka's apartment, a man whose eyes had been shut, seemingly awake, snapped awake. At the same time, beneath Saint Robert, within the market district, Angolme de Francois, who was on night duty, leapt to his feet and rushed to the area where the mystical item was sealed. He hoped to enhance his ability to handle accidents. In the other rooms were Immer, Valentine, and the others, who also sensed the violent aura to shake all of Trier. This was even more terrifying than the Tree of Shadow. But they didn't stand still. Some dashed out the room to rendezvous with Ngolme, while others raised their arms and prayed to the sun before sprinting out. Courtier de la Cathédrale Commémorative, Martin, who had been stroking his full-body armor. Is this a euphemism for something, bro? Furrowed his brow and cast a puzzled glance. He felt something calling to him, causing his blood to boil. Deep in underground Trier, Olsen, the starved bear-like man who had been lugging a heavy suitcase, suddenly perked up his ears to listen. The distant sound of killings and shouting reached him. The supervisor of the Iron and Blood Cross Order's eyes flashed with ferocity and madness. Dude, it's genuinely Conqueror's aura. Hold on. Conqueror's Hockey. In the island district at the center of the Sorrenzo River, the EBS church, St. Vief Cathedral, was enshrouded in darkness. Only the nearby bell tower remained lit. But at that moment, a slumbering cathedral bathed in brilliant sunlight. The sunlight flooded the onion-like domes. To the north of Trier, in the heart of the cathedral district, towering iron-black chimneys loomed above the God of Steam and Machinery's cathedral. Okay. Is it too much to ask that whoever the guy from the Fool's Cathedral is, the guy who's like preaching, also shows up? Is that too much to ask? I know it's not your jurisdiction or whatever. I would just like to have some representation of my goat present, okay? Within Red Swan Castle, Count Puffer opened his eyes. He sensed the entire castle become extremely oppressive. The nightmarish roars and screams echoed from deep underground. Hidden in a room diagonally below Franka's apartment, Loki had just reacted to the violent aura. Before he could summon back the wraith that possessed Lumion and use it to escape, the surrounding darkness intensified, swallowing the crimson moonlight. Where did I skip a scene? Oh, in Quartier Arras State, a small town very close to the Sacred Heart Cloister, a golden retriever and the lady beside it turned and gazed into the Trier metropolis. Let's go, baby! We got some representation of the Church of the Fool around here. Let's go. Go to hell! Lumion's thoughts returned to normal as he channeled his anger. With a low growl, he took a step forward, his eyes protruding with red vessels, while twisting his waist and swinging his right fist with all his might. With a muffled explosion, the flames on Lumion's body coalesced on the surface of his fist, condensing into a blazing inferno. The blazing white fireball shot out from Lumion's fist, following a predetermined path, and crashing into the wall beside the apartment. The voice he had just heard emanated from the wall behind. A large hole tore through the wall, revealing the man within. Brown hair, brown eyes, and a gaunt face. The marionette Loki had employed. The one who was speaking. Before Lumion could even realize he wasn't the real Loki, darkness surged over him like a tidal wave. Having already vented his anger in flames, Lumion's heart calmed. He subconsciously closed his eyes and sank to the ground. His contorted face began to relax, and his body and soul found peace, no longer showing signs of losing control. Dressed in a black widow-like dress and a veiled bonnet, Hela emerged. Being the closest to the apartment while searching, she was undoubtedly the first to arrive. Music change right now, Kami? I need to put volume up. Oh, for fuck's sakes. Without hesitation, she made Franka, Lumion, Loki, and the others' marionettes vanish. Her figure faded, and the dense darkness dissipated. Apart from the collapsed wall, no evidence remained. 2 seconds later, the apartment was bathed in sunlight. Dude! Hela coming in clutch as fuck! Bro! She was like, yoink! And then the fucking officials came. Oh, they would have been so cooked otherwise. In an uninhabited mine beneath Trier, they were all in deep slumber except Hela. The vice president no longer stood and no longer had the dry, withered hair she'd had before. It had transformed into smooth strands, the color of the night. She pulled out a flask filled with liquor and downed a third of it, before looking at Lumion. Hela's forehead began to crack silently, emitting an eerie, ancient glow that manifested into an indescribable, ancient bronze door. The door swayed and creaked open, revealing a narrow gap. Beyond it lay endless, countless, indescribable eyes. Under the influence of this aura, the wraith attached to Lumion flew out. Isn't this an... Didn't Klein briefly have an artifact that did the same thing? Am I making this up? Didn't Klein do like this same fucking thing briefly? Dude, Fire King, God bless it. Oh, Sharon did it, Baijamo. I think you're right. Oh, I think Sharon did it. You're right. The gate to the underworld. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Kami. Thank you. No. 1R, Adam. The 2 R's gotten me too many times. In an instant, it landed on the ground, and Hela raised her right hand, pressing it against its forehead. The bronze door vanished, and the dim light receded. Hela shifted her attention to Loki. The leader of the April Fool had an ordinary face. Hela stared at him for a moment before her eyes lost focus. In Loki's dream, Hela appeared clad in a black widow-like attire, in front of an ancient castle shrouded in a thin grey fog. The castle's massive door stood open. Hela glanced up at the pitch-black castle with its numerous spires and the thin form before stepping through the door. She passed through the dimly lit atrium and proceeded into the hall. Numerous guests filled the hall. Surrounded by dozens or even hundreds of wax statues was a great platform with 3 stone steps. In the middle of the platform was an ancient dark red chair. Fire King, no worries, man. I appreciate you popping by. Hope you had a good time. I think this is your first stream, so I hope you had a good time. Hope I'll see you again in the future. Bye, buddy. A man in his late 20s occupied the seat. He wore a silk top hat and a black tailcoat, with dark grey eyes and short brown hair. A subtle curl on the subtle curl of his mouth hid a non-obvious smile. Pressing down on the armrest, the man relaxed. "Who are you?" his voice echoed through the castle. Hela walked past the crowd and arrived at the man. "Loki, don't you recognize me?" Loki's grin intensified. "Hela, you've come after all. Why did you harm a member of our society?" Loki's gaze shifted up and he let out a laugh. "The only purpose those fools serve is to amuse me. You must know that the apocalypse is imminent, just a few years away. We're all going to die, sooner or later. It's better to sacrifice them now and provide us with some entertainment." Hela fell silent, and the chilling silence enveloped the dream. Decaying, pale white hands extended from the stone floor and surrounding walls. "Why did you harm Muggle?" Because the celestial worthy of heaven and earth for blessing." Loki's voice faded, and the entire dream began to crumble. The ancient castle disintegrated, vanishing. Fuck. In an instant, her form shifted and reassembled, no longer exhibiting the abnormalities she displayed earlier. Loki's body had disintegrated into a pool of flesh and blood, with grotesque maggots crawling in and out of it. Hela observed silently, but no characteristics emerged. So the Celestial Worthy wanted Aurora to happen. Wanted Aurora to get messed up. Maybe because he knew it would create Lumion, and Lumion would hurt Klein in some way? Are you telling me Celestial Worthy, envisioned him characteristics? Because where's his fucking characteristic? What the fuck do you mean? He can't envision, but did he trick him out of it? Did he, oopsies, there was an error and I the characteristic before it coalesced? But why the fuck would he even care about a sequence 5 characteristic? It's like fucking... It's like a drop of water to him in a fucking ocean. Like, no. Within the pitch-black castle, enveloped in a thin fog, a red coffin lay in a sinister chamber. Suddenly, a pale white hand emerged from the coffin, gripping its wooden edge. Vermonda? Yo, Vermonda Sauron? Hold on. We're so back, baby! The golden age of the Sauron family is yet to come! Ah. In the uninhabited quarry cave beneath Trier, Hela observed as the maggots perished, yet she didn't detect any characteristic emerging. She turned her attention to Franca and Lumion, who were sound asleep. Satisfied that they had regained some control due to their sleep and dreams, she ended their slumber. 2 seconds later, Lumion's eyes shot up, and he leapt with the agility of a leopard. In an instant, he summoned 3 crimson flames. As he kept a vigilant eye over his surroundings, Franca, still recovering, rubbed her head and slowly got up. Then she spotted Hela in her distinctive Black Widow-like dress. "Madam Hela, what brings you here?" Regret instantly washed over her. She had inadvertently revealed her affiliation of the Research Society. If she hadn't spoken, she could have pretended to be no more than a friend of CL. "Hidden Blade?" Hela inquired. "Yes. How did you recognize me?" "You're the only demoness we have," Hela replied. Franca felt even more embarrassed and ridiculed. "I recognized you based on your attire and your demeanor. You never show your face at the gatherings." The two acknowledged each other. Lumion's weariness visibly eased. He then saw the 2 marionettes lying lifeless on the ground. "Is that Loki?" he asked, pointing to the horrifying mess. "Yes." "Is he dead?" He succumbed to his own loss of control, but it's not a complete demise. "What? Look at how badly minced he is. Maggots are crawling out?" Can a marionettist do that too? Can he become one of his marionettes? I thought he couldn't do that. Am I nuts? I thought that was like a sequence 4 thing. Am I wrong? That is Bizarro Sorcerer. Was he a Bizarro Sorcerer? Ain't no fucking way. Ain't no fucking way, bro. There's no way, right? She had already figured out why Madame Hela had appeared. CL must have used her as bait again. Hela looked up at Lumion and said, "High-level demonesses aren't the only ones capable of resurrection. Seers can do it too. Loki likely worships an evil god in this domain. Combined with his uniqueness, he can abandon his body upon death and revive in a pre-prepared location. Unfortunately, I didn't foresee this. If I had prayed for the true concealment in advance, he wouldn't have been revived, and he'd leave his characteristic behind." The woman recounted her oversight, offering no excuse and showing no frustration. "Not bad at all. If you were to meet his demise like this, I'd be rather disappointed. I will be the one to kill him with my own hands." A burning desire for high sequence beyond her powers surged within Lumion. Loki was undeniably formidable. Even when he and Franca joined forces, Loki had come dangerously close to turning Lumion into a marionette. Yet Hela, suspected to have been a Sequence 4, effortlessly dispatched him in less than 10 seconds. Lumion understood that unleashing the Blood Emperor aura would undoubtedly draw the attention of official Beyonders. Therefore, after Hela had sought him out, he had to subdue Loki and relocate within 10 seconds, or the chance of being intercepted by Trier's saints and angels was high. This was a true demigod. Lumion eagerly looked forward by summarizing more pyromaniac principles and digesting the potion in the coming months to become a conspirer. He recollected his plan for revenge against Loki and the others, and the eradication of heretics. Seeing Lumion's lack of regret or disappointment, Hela nodded in approval. Lumion's gaze remained fixated on Loki's corpse. Which evil god does he serve? Franka's heart skipped a beat. Could it be? The demoness of pleasure paused briefly before switching to a complicated language Lumion didn't understand. The immortal lord. Have you forgotten that I don't understand that language either? Hela cut her off. Idiot. Speak in ancient Fasak or in Tesian. Also, pause after each line and tell me something else. The immortal lord of heaven and earth for blessing. Hela interrupted her once again and engaged in a brief discussion about Loki's assault. The Sky Lord of heaven and earth for blessing. The exalted Thurch of heaven and earth for blessing. When I heard Loki recite it, it felt like I'd moved to another world, shrouded in a fog. I couldn't see anything. My thoughts My thoughts slowed to a crawl. The celestial worthy of heaven and earth for blessing. This name has an odd style. It differed slightly from the honorific name of deities, like Mr. Fool. I'm assuming she speaks English, Adam, because, Franka and Aurora are Chinese. So I'm assuming she's, like, English or something. No, but Franka speaks Chinese, and Hela just said she doesn't understand it. So it'd be the opposite. So I'm assuming English. Okay, we're back. Chill, guys. God, you guys are overreacting. It was a misinput. You see, the April Fool's team is under suspicion for Muggle's death, and there's no way of revealing our secrets when investigating them. So I told CL. Besides, CL has genuinely helped us find clues related to transmigration and the possibility of returning. What clues? Hela asked. It's somewhat complex. Let me start by recalling what those honorific names reminded me of. We've been communicating, trying to find commonalities and similarities in what each of us did before transmigration to uncover some reason. Some received mysterious phones, others entered abandoned ancient temples in the mountains, and some were studying folklore. But I can't pinpoint what led to it. It's not that I can't remember, but I've done so much. As you all know, I enjoy novelty. I buy new phones, play new games, try new restaurants, and even create clothing and cosplay. I engaged in a multitude of activities before transmigrating. It's hard to know which one triggered it. But when I heard the honorific name Loki said, I recalled that on a peculiar night, I had played a game called Terror Attack, and in the game there was a monster that had faith in something called Celestial Worthy of Heaven and Earth for Blessing. Her transmigration in this world appeared to be connected to the celestial worthy of heaven and earth for blessing, whom Loki worshipped. I don't have any such similar recollection, Hela said. As I mentioned earlier, before transmigrating, I delved into non-mainstream mythological books. There was a deity skilled in deception and pranks who bore a striking resemblance to Loki. Would Loki have transmigrated by reciting the 4 lines of the name? So upon his arrival, he recollected his actions from that time and attempted to recreate them, forging a connection with that evil god? Yes, he vaguely spoke of such when discussing these matters. The members of the April Fool's team shared similar experiences. Could it be we were all brought here by the celestial worthy of heaven and earth for blessing? Or did he summon us to this world? He's suspicious. At our next gathering, we can revisit the topic and communicate with the others as well, Hella said. Will the members of the April Fool's team attend? The problematic ones probably won't anymore. Even if we hastily arranged a gathering now, we'd have to notify them individually. This period of time is sufficient for Loki to revive and alert the associates. Why does everyone need to be notified? Just invite the April Fool's team to an emergency meeting. They won't know if the others will attend. It won't take long to inform a dozen of them, Lumion said. Clever. Very good, Lumion. Alright, boys. That was, what, 2.5 hours? Alright, good length stream. Y'all can't really complain. I mean, you can, but you guys always do, you know, so. 10 chapters, pretty good timing. Alright, boys. Oh, I think we'll call it there. I'm gonna go get some dinner, I'm starved. Fuck, I got this fucking shit. Fucker. Alright, I'm washed, but W stream, fuck you too. Fuck you too, alright? Alright, bye boys.